Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much for the invitation. And in fusion imaging, I'm going to show three different modalities: the heart navigator, the vessel navigator, and the echo navigator. What is heart navigator? Cardiac segments are fused with fluoroscopy. It basically started off with TAVR, where aorta, left ventricle, and coronary organs were segmented. But it will be surprising. Is it relevant in pediatric cardiology? As you know that one of our recent interest is into sinus venosus ASD non-surgical closure. So this is an example of patient with bilateral superior vena cava, a large right upper pulmonary vein draining into the lower part of SVC, and this patient has got a sinus venosus ASD. This is the 3D data set of the contrast CT. We don't want the aorta, we don't want the ventricle, so take away everything. So we have the right atrium and left atrium here, bilateral superior vena cava with the coronary sinus here. We don't want actually the left atrium also, take them away. We have two superior vena cava with LSVC draining into the coronary sinus. Our stenting is going to be primarily in this area, so chop off the LSVC and coronary sinus as well. So we have created a cast. So right superior vena cava, right upper pulmonary vein, sinus venosus ASD. We take it, fuse it in the fluoroscopy. So this is to check whether the fusion is correct. So catheter goes into the right upper pulmonary vein, catheter goes into the superior vena cava, fusion is reasonably appropriate. The next step, we want to do a test balloon occlusion. So this is a long cylindrical balloon, and with that balloon, we are now injecting contrast in the upper pulmonary vein and seeing that it is completely draining only into the left ventricle. The pressure in the pulmonary vein is being monitored by the same pigtail. Now, after we know that the test balloon occlusion is occluding the sinus venosus ASD, the next step is positioning the covered stent. This is a long Andra covered stent across the right upper pulmonary vein, where the pigtail is now sitting here and showing where is the right upper pulmonary vein. And now, after positioning the covered stent in the middle of the region, we then inflate it. Now the balloon is inflated. We recheck now. And when you do the rechecking, we are able to appreciate the right upper pulmonary vein fills only the left atrium, which means the sinus venosus ASD is completely occluded. The right upper pulmonary vein pressure is not increased. So the fusion is actually running parallel. So this is the fusion image. This is the real image. And here you can appreciate the whole of the right upper pulmonary vein getting committed towards the left atrium. So this is what is heart navigator. The next one, vessel navigator. Whenever there are very tortuous blood vessels and tortuous vascular channels, these can be fused on fluoroscopy. I'll take up an example. A complex tetralogy pulmonary atresia where there is a ridiculously small right ventricular outflow tract, less than 1 millimeter main pulmonary artery with 1.5 millimeter branch pulmonary arteries with multiple epicollaterals. So these are the epicollaterals. There are 3 of them. All the collaterals are tightly stenosed. You can appreciate the stenosis here. You can appreciate the stenosis here. And our intention is to stent this, and then next, what about the RVOT? This is the right ventricular outflow tract ending in a 5 millimeter atretic pulmonary valve, and then a tiny main pulmonary artery into the right and left, and we want to stent this entire area. So this is the programmed intervention. This is what conventionally we used to do. You can appreciate one aortogram which hardly fills any structure because of the stenotic epicollaterals. We get a very poor delineation, and then you do a selective angiography. We see a faint seagull sign of the branch pulmonary arteries here, and this is what normally we get. But now we have already fused it. This is the whole fusion, and here, based on this fusion, we are driving our catheter into this atretic pulmonary valve and checking it on a lateral projection as well. We are going towards this atretic pulmonary valve and then drilling this atretic pulmonary valve with a 014 Conquest Pro CTO wire. And next step, we have now gone through and through. And at this particular point, we want to check whether we are in the correct position. We recheck on the epicollateral to find out what is the confluence. So this is the confluence, and we are well aligned. And with this, this is the wire in position, this is the guide catheter, and when we inject, we can see the atretic valve, blood is not going through. Then you do the serial balloon dilatation and final stenting, and following the stent, this is the stent in place, and following the stent, you have achieved an antegrade flow between the right ventricle towards the pulmonary artery. So now we go on to the next step, the epicollaterals. There is a tortuous epicollateral. So we target next the tortuous epicollateral. We have gone into the tortuous epicollateral. This is the stenotic segment which we want to stent it. And now based on this guidance, you go and position the stent. And now you have stented this MAPCA. And this is the stent in the MAPCA now. You can appreciate the right MAPCA has been stented. Then go on to the next, the second one that was having a tight narrowing at this point. The second MAPCA is now having a tortuosity as well as a tight stenosis. And then finally, both are stented. So then you do a reconstruction. This is the RV to PA, the RVOT stent. This is the MAPCA stent. This is that other descending thoracic aortic stent. So all the three from a backward view and a frontal view. And so the third type of navigation is echo navigation. Fusion of 3D transesophageal echocardiography, what Dr. Srija spoke about. Primarily of importance in small lesions such as paravalvular leak, but I want to specify on pediatric cardiology what is the relevance. So this is an example of a same sinus venosus ASD, but this patient has in addition a secondum ASD. So there are it increases the complexity of the procedure. You can appreciate that the secondum ASD here and a sinus venosus ASD here, the whole 3D data set is now fused on to the fluoroscopy. So now we have a sinus venosus ASD being closed by a long cylindrical balloon, the secondum ASD being closed by a sizing balloon, and now we are making an injection in the right upper pulmonary vein, completely routing the pulmonary vein only to the left atrium with no residual flows into the right atrium. So this is on echo navigation. We are putting in the balloon, we are checking the balloon, putting the device, and now this is the device in position, the covered stent coming up. The covered stent is going to be expanded. Let us see how it looks on a fusion image. This is the fusion image. The stent has been expanded. This is our transesophageal echo probe. This portion is the right upper pulmonary vein. You can see that the right upper pulmonary vein flows are laminar towards the left atrium, and easy to appreciate that residual flows have stopped. The ASD position is good. Right upper pulmonary vein is in a good position. So to summarize, fusion imaging aids in structural interventions. Of course, there are some more additional fusion imaging. MRI and PET-CT can guide endomyocardial biopsies. Basically, we need advanced hardware, and you have to understand the hardware and technology. We have three great experts in our department who specialize in each individual fields. Dr. Srija Pavitran, the previous speaker, specializes on echo navigation. Dr. Pramod Sagar on heart navigation, and Dr. Zeeshan Ahmed on vessel navigation. And you need these technical brains to be acting in synchrony with the machines to achieve the best possible results. Thank you very much for your hearing.
It was a wonderful presentation, and always